Hey friends, Steve Guttenberg here, and I am the Audiophiliac, and I've just come back from Rocky Mountain Audio Fest in Denver. Heard a lot of great audio, talked to a lot of really nice people, including some of you guys, so thank you if you're out there watching. So, when I come back from hi-fi shows, it's the same thing every time. I come back, turn on my main system, my system that's my own, and I review stuff, and I go, yeah, this is it. This is the way it's supposed to be. Now, of course, at the show, I heard speakers with, bigger and definitely more powerful dynamics like the Klipsch La Scala. That was definitely a high point. I heard speakers with much better resolution and 3D imaging from Gail Sanders' new speaker, the Icons, which I hope to review in the coming months. So there's definitely better sound at the show. But it isn't my sound. My sound is the sound that I've put together to make it sound good to me. So the difference is that the show, even with better gear, it's a hotel room. Hotel rooms don't sound good. Never have and probably never will. And the bigger obstacle is that the people from the company have basically a day to get their room set up and sounding as good as they can. And a day, even if you're really experienced, isn't enough. But it's really the space. It's hard. It's just not a good space. It never is. Not my experience. So I wouldn't hold it against them. But, the same is sort of also true for dealers. When I worked at a high-end store in New York City, Sound by Singer, the catch there is that we would put together and take apart the systems all the time because we would create different versions for different customers. This customer wants a Krell amplifier with Apogee speakers or something. So we had to take, the amps that were room 5 and put them in room 6 and take the cables that were room 7 and put them in room 4. It was always being taken apart and put back together, and it was never really time to make it as good as it could be in a given room. But at home, well, the system is what you want it to be or what you can afford at that moment. Now, I have a great system. I'll kind of run it down. Let's see. Right now, the speakers that I'm using when I came home from Rocky Mountain Audio Fest are the Magnapan .7s. $1,400 a pair, so definitely a lot less expensive than most of the speakers that I listen to at Rocky Mountain. The amp is either a First Watt SIT3 or a Past Labs XA25. Excuse me, I'm switching between those two. My digital is a PS Audio SACD transport going into usually a Jagersal, a ship Jagersal DAC. For vinyl, I'm playing an SME Model 15 turntable with an Ortofon Cadenza Blue cartridge, and the phono preamp is a Parasound JC3 Plus. Cables are a combination of Nordist, what is that called? Analysis Plus, Cardus, AudioQuest. Anyway, it's a mix of things. But the point is here that it's what I've just described is a very expensive system. It's probably around $50,000, but it's a $1,400 speaker. But okay, it's a lot of money. But you know what? This has pretty much been the case with every show I've ever gone to. When I had far less pricey systems, when I came home and listened to my system, it sounded closer to what I want audio to sound like. So the gear itself changes over the years, but my system usually sounds the way I want it to within the the limits of what I can make it sound like. So when I go to a show, all bets are off, really. Because you're listening, after all, to the speakers in a room. You're not listening to the speakers. You're listening more to the sound of the reflections off the walls and the floor and the ceiling of the room. And they're not the friendliest places in hotel rooms to listen to sound from. So that always colors the impression. Of course, I have walls and floors and ceilings too, but mine are more controlled. And by the way, my room, which I'll never be able to show you because it's just filled with stuff, has no parallel wall surfaces because it's a really odd-shaped room. You ain't going to find a hotel room that has that. Now, of course, the ceiling and the floor are parallel to each other, but the area directly in front of the speakers has a big, thick rug on it. Anyway, the point of this is there's no place like home. And I wonder if you guys have that same experience. So when you go home, yeah, you heard a lot of great stuff at a show, but your system just has something that no system at the show ever had. Anyway, glad to hear and look forward to hearing your comments below. And I think I'm done for today. As always, thanks for watching. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel if you like it, and like it, share it, do all that social media stuff that the kids are into, and I'll see you next time.